Let's talk about something I know many of you are thinking about. How does Agile actually work in an organization that's still primarily waterfall? And most importantly, how do Agile teams deal with deadlines? Because I get it. When you're used to waterfall, the idea of working iteratively can feel, let's say, a bit mysterious. Agile teams can seem like they're allergic to deadlines, or worse, they're just making it up as they go along. But here's the thing. Agile can absolutely work within a waterfall organization and waterfall environment. And Agile teams 100% deal with dates all the time. We just deal with it a little differently than what you might be used to. So let me break it down into three main areas. Number one, in waterfall, we plan everything up front. Requirements, we design when we're going to build, when we're going to test, when we're going to deliver. Our measure of success is often defined as us being on time and on budget. Have you ever had a go live party where you celebrated being on time? I have, but shouldn't we actually be celebrating that our users are happy because we built them exactly what they needed? I think so. On an agile team, we're focused more on building that right thing. So it's about fast learning. We're incrementally building and going live, or at least demoing value, and making adjustments based on that feedback. Getting feedback helps us build the right things for our users. Okay, number two, in Waterfall, we try to figure out everything up front, all of the requirements. But the reality is things change. The business changes, technology changes, our competitors come out with something new. And when we spend tons of time up front, and all that time and energy trying to define every last requirement that we're going to need over the next year and a half or 2 years, it can be a waste of time because when things change, we often have to shelve those requirements. On an agile delivery team, we create a high level plan of where we're going, a vision of what that looks like, and a roadmap of how we're going to get there. But we don't figure out every single last detail because we know things are going to change. We figure out those details just in time, right before we build them. So that roadmap, it's a plan, it's not a commitment. It's a plan for what we know right now as we learn more. And that roadmap might change. And every time it does change, we know that we're getting closer to what makes our users happier. That's the key. All right, number three, let's talk about deadlines. In Waterfall, as we approach a go live date, we're often not totally on track because things changed. It took longer than we expected. Could be lots of reasons. So, what happens is we either do a bunch of change requests and try to stay true to our deadline, or we cut some corners on testing, which means quality often goes down. In an agile world, because we're prioritizing the highest value work first, the things that are most important to our users are likely already done and hopefully even in production. Instead of cutting out some of the testing, what agile teams do instead is descope some of the lower priority items, working hand in hand with our business partner, our product owner. So this means quality stays high the whole time and we can still meet our deadline. On an agile team, we often know early what we might have to descope, or at least what's at risk, because agile teams can forecast based on their historical data and use tools like burn down charts. The longer an agile team is together, the more data they have and the more confident that they'll be in those forecasts. Okay, so speaking of forecasting, we mentioned road mapping earlier, right? An agile team should always use their product roadmap. A roadmap tells us the features that the team is planning to deliver over the next usually 6 to 9 months. And this can be used to our advantage if we have to interface with a larger waterfall program and need to plan to some dates that everybody else is dependent on. Again, we're not committing to every last scope item to get done by that date, but it'll help us make some trade-off decisions and make those trade-off decisions early about the detailed scope so that we can meet the date while remaining flexible and getting feedback from our customers and adjusting to that so we give them the best possible product by that deadline. So I hope this helps people understand how agile teams can work with deadlines and within a waterfall environment. They do it all the time.